don't know what I'm going to say.
Keep going, that was so good.
Hey everyone, my name is Danielle Jones and I own Snapshots of a Memory by Danielle. I wanted to first start out telling you a little bit about myself. I am 40 years old and I have 4 children, 3 boys and a girl, and I've been married for going on 19 years. I started my journey in photography photographing my daughter when she was born. She did beauty pageants and I kind of just started taking her pictures because back then times were tough, money was tight, and I decided to take her pictures myself instead of hiring somebody to do it. So I took her pictures and I did a pretty good job, and it kind of blew up from there. And I started taking a lot more pictures of different children, and at the time I worked at Walgreens drugstore as an assistant manager, and I did have some high school kids there that wanted me to take their senior pictures, so that was kind of a big deal back then. And that was 2007, 2008. And then in 2009 I went to photograph a newborn baby being born, and I had just finished a full shift at work and got home late and then had to get up at 4 in the morning to drive over to the hospital and photograph this baby being born, and drove home from the hospital, broke down, started crying because I felt like I was torn to make a decision between what I wanted to do in my life. I felt like God had spoke to me and reassured me He's got it, that I needed to take this time and put my 2 weeks notice in. So I drove straight to my job, talked to my manager, and put in my 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks I started doing photography full time, which at that time I was like, I'm going to be successful or I'm going to wind up on welfare, which I didn't want to be on welfare, so I was successful. And you know, 9 years down the road, here we are. I started my business in a little tiny little place, probably 900 square foot max, which it was big to me. It was a lot bigger than my house when I was, you know, first starting. I did them out of my bedroom, but you know, I had this little 900 square foot place. I borrowed money from my dad, which was about $1,500, and I bought a camera. I bought a good camera, a Canon, which I use to this day, and I worked my butt off to pay my dad back, and then some. Every little bit of extra money that I had made, I bought props, I bought backdrops, I bought, you know, workshops to educate myself, to make myself better. I invested in so many different things while I paid my bills. And you know, raising my kids, it was hard because we didn't have a lot of money, and you know, we worked all the time. My husband worked too, and you know, we sometimes didn't pay a bill to buy their birthday presents, or you know, I just really didn't want to worry about that anymore. And I remember the first time I was able to go buy my son an iPod for his birthday, and I didn't have to worry about not paying a bill for it, and that was huge for me. And that's the first sign of success that I had personally, that I could feel, and it was amazing. Each year just kept getting better, and my photography just kept getting better, and I just wanted just to be better than I was the day before. And so I drowned myself in education and practice, and not everything was easy. I had customers and clients that hated some of the things that I did, and you know, and I cried myself to sleep and worried about, you know, what they were going to say or who they were going to tell or whatnot, you know, from, you know, that they didn't like their pictures, or you know, you take the good with the bad and you just, you know, move on. not everybody is going to like everything that you do. It's just kind of the good with the bad. But there are people that absolutely I changed their life. I mean, I photographed their baby being born. I photographed, you know, a father who, you know, weeks later passed away. You know, they have those pictures, those memories, those things that, you know, tangible things that they can hold on to, and, you know, memories that people will treasure forever. I really wanted to focus in on newborn photography. I never got to do anything like that with my own children, so I really wanted to drown myself in knowledge on how to properly, safely photograph a newborn. And I can say to this day, I feel like I have achieved that. I do find ways to get better and do different stuff, but I feel like I'm at a point where I can say I successfully can photograph a newborn. Success in my eyes could mean something different in your eyes. It doesn't mean, you know, I have a ton of money or whatnot. Success is, you know, like I said, I could, you know, go buy my son a birthday present without not having to pay a bill. That was success for me. And changing people's lives and, you know, giving them something they can treasure for years is success for me. But as far as that success goes, it does not happen overnight. You can't expect it to, especially if you're going to start a business. And, you know, just like everybody, you know, starts somewhere. Yeah, you know, if you've never taken a picture before, you can't expect to be, you know, a photography prodigy. I mean, you know, some people are, but some people you have to work really hard, like me. I mean, I wasn't a success overnight. Yeah, the pictures that I took in the beginning I thought were amazing, but I look back and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's just, I mean, you just learn and you grow and you have the knowledge. And, you know, I have people message me often that ask me, you know, how did you get to where you are today? And you know, and the biggest thing I tell them, you know, don't give up on yourself. Always, you know, give yourself that pat on the back for even a small accomplishment that you do. And, you know, not everything is going to happen overnight. You can't expect it to. You've got to give it time. You've got to water your baby. You have to, you know, feed your baby and never leave it alone. Just like a newborn baby is how I describe, you know, starting your business. I mean, once, you know, you get your years in, you get, you know, you can leave them with a babysitter, or, you know, and then like now sometimes, you know, I can go on a vacation and it can stand by itself, and, you know, that is success to me. If you have a dream, if you have a goal in your life, you need to not give up. I mean, if you told me what I'd be doing 10 years ago, I would think you are crazy. I would never have saw myself leave a successful job, good pay, great benefits. I would have never have saw myself do that. But, you know, I never give myself enough credit either, you know. I'm a way stronger person than I was 10 years ago. I'm able to do more things and be more happy with myself, you know, instead of doing the day-to-day grind that I knew I wasn't happy with. So, you know, if there's ever doubt in your mind, you know, if it's really what you want to do, you can do it. I mean, I can't say that enough, and I tell my kids that all the time. And with these YouTube videos, I'm gonna do a lot of different things besides photography. I'm gonna talk about photography. I'm gonna talk about you know, your camera tips and tricks on different things, but I'm also gonna talk about things that mean a lot to me, like self-confidence and, you know, your body image and stuff like that. That's stuff that I struggle with personally as a human being, and I know a lot of people can relate to me with that as well. But, you know, I want to have that conversation, you know, and talk about it, and different stuff that means something to me that I feel like I can relate with y'all. I hope that you guys follow me and, you know, subscribe and you know, take part in everything that I have to talk about. And, you know, I would, you know, like to hear opinions and, you know, suggestions from y'all as well. And, you know, it doesn't have to be just about photography. It can be about anything. And like I said, I will, you know, have different sessions on things that I know I can relate to y'all about, and that I can talk about, and that it's okay to talk about. I hope that you love me, and you continue to follow me on my journey. And just another note, this is huge for me. I'm not the one usually behind the camera. I'm the one behind the camera, not in front of it. So that is a big deal for me, to put myself out there for you all to see. But, you know, that's another success story. Hopefully I can, you know, reflect on a couple years from now how I overcame that, which is, it's hard for me, but I care a lot about what people think and what they think of me. So I feel like I'm just babbling. So that is all for today, and I hope y'all enjoyed it and y'all can relate to me on that somehow. So continue to follow me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.